Because of the war on Earth, the Earth was completely destroyed. So some people were sent to the moon so that they could go there and make colonies for the rest of the people. And when all this work was done, humans left the Earth and went to the moon to live. But it was not so easy to live on the moon because there was a meteor storm there. So that's why they had to change all these decisions. After which, humans started mining on the moon so that they could find an easy way to live there. So many people were kept for mining and were called miners. And this principle was also made, that these miners would live with their families on the moon. Now, we are shown the children of the miners who were born in this place, that is, on the moon. All of them were trying to steal the space rover, that is, the car that could run on the moon. Then someone comes there, from whom everyone is scared and hides. Among them, a child named Caleb had a capsule in his hand. His father was also a miner who was killed while working. Caleb has decided to be sent to Omega after 3 days, where he will be adopted by another family. Where life is happy in every way, people live a very enjoyable life. Here we are told that it takes about 75 years to go from the moon to Omega, during which the traveling human cryosleep lives in a chamber, which does not increase the age of that person. When he reaches Omega from the moon, he is of the same age. Caleb knew that it would take him 75 years to go to Omega, but Caleb did not want to go from here. He knew that he would never be able to meet his friends again. A lady tells him that the next day a meteor storm is going to start, after which he will have to leave for Omega. Caleb was missing his dad a lot. He remembers how he used to go very high and sit with his dad at the base here. He remembers that his dad had told him that a dangerous thing came across the moon, which made a crater there. You must go to that place once. But no human was allowed to go across the moon. And the capsule we saw in Caleb's hand was given to him by a guard, which he got from his dad's ashes. Now, when Caleb was sitting and thinking about all this, 3 of his friends came to him, who were very sad because of his departure. One of them, whose name is Dylan, knew the last wish of Caleb's dad, which was to go to the crater. Dylan says, "Why don't we see that crater before you go? This way, your dad's last wish will also be fulfilled." But all this was not so easy. They collect the things they need to go there. Now they needed a code to get out of here. Dylan says that there is a girl here whose name is Addison. Addison had shifted from the Earth to the moon a few days ago. She had no friends. She was the daughter of a scientist. So Dylan says, who knows if she knows about the code? When he goes to talk to Addison, she does not talk to him and goes away from there. Seeing this, Dylan follows him and tells him everything now. He says, "I wanted to be friends with you from the beginning. Why do people think you are strange?" Addison listens to everything and says, "Okay, I am ready to help you people. But on your mission, I will also go with you." Dylan listens to him and gets ready to take him with him. All the children have reached the rover's space. They were all stealing it. Caleb pulls the wire of his alarm first so that it does not go off. Then, he puts in the code of Addison, from which the door was opened. All of them were now ready to go. The responsibility of driving the rover fell on Dylan, because he knew the driving from all of them. They all leave from there. They had seen the moon for the first time. Everyone was very happy, but these people had to come back before the meteor storm. Because when the meteors rained, the base was locked down. During the journey, everyone starts talking about themselves. Caleb says that my dad told me how people were sent to the moon and then mined. But no human being is able to do the work of staying on the moon and mining. If that person dies during work, then his son or any of his family members will have to complete that work. The only condition for this is that the age of that person's son should be 18 years old. If he is younger than this, then he will be adopted by another family who must be living on the Omega planet. Those who had been sent to the moon started living their lives happily by going to Omega. Addison says, "So what? A mining job was given. which was to be done for only 20 years. Addison was the daughter of a scientist, so she did not know about the real thing. Here, Dylan explains everything to her, including that if a mining person dies, then his son has to complete the rest of the years. Hearing this, Addison was a little surprised. The rest of the way, they had to walk and decide. Everyone wears their own spacesuits. Addison's suit was a little different in all of them. He was wearing a black suit. Anyway, they come out, and due to the lack of gravitational force, everyone is jumping very high. Everyone starts playing here. When Addison's eyes fall on the planet, she gets a little sad and starts remembering her past moments on the ground. When Addison comes back, she sees that Caleb, Dylan, and everyone else were going up in space with the help of an oxygen gas container. They had tied themselves with a rope to the rover, so that this space would not go far in the air. Addison sees this and says that it can be dangerous. Don't do that, but he doesn't listen to anything. When all this started to do a small dose of Caleb, due to the shock, his rope broke, due to which he went far into space. Seeing all this, Caleb and his other friends try to save him with the oxygen cylinder. Everyone had saved their friend with difficulty, but in all this, a lot of their oxygen ran out. They did not have so much oxygen that they could reach the crater. Everyone was badly stuck. Then Caleb remembers that one of his friends told him that there was an outpost somewhere here. Who knows if he can go there and get oxygen? Hearing this, Caleb's friend says that I will not go there because my brother told me that ghosts live there. Hearing this, Dylan starts making fun of him. And on the same thing, there was a fight between the two. And he says that as long as there is time to stay together, do you want to fight and destroy it? Hearing this, the two became friends again. Anyway, they reach that outpost where it is very dark. There, they see the shadows of humans, which everyone is scared of. When they turn on the lights, they find out that they are not humans but puppets. And this was not an outpost, but a model of such a house. They get some food and oxygen. It was also night, so everyone decided to spend the night. Dylan tells Edison about himself. My dad left me alone. Edison also tells us about himself. My mom and dad got divorced. After that, my mom took my brother and went to Omega Planet. I feel very lonely. Everyone was asleep, but Caleb and Edison were still awake. Caleb starts talking to Edison. After my mom and dad's deaths, my friend Dylan supported me. He is my everything. I will go to Omega. Dylan will be left alone, so after my death, always stay with him. Promise me, Edison. He also promised Caleb. In the morning, they start their journey again. But now, their rover's battery was dead. They also had a shortage of oxygen, so they had to reach the crater. Edison had set up a security alarm so that the guards could come and save them before the meteor shower. Now quickly, the creators reached the crater, which is very big. These stairs led to a strange place where Edison saw a button on the wall. As soon as he pressed it, the whole place changed as if people were on the ground. All this was not real, but still, they like everything. As soon as they reach the crater, they see their mom and dad's ashes and their picture. Caleb had seen his mom for the first time in that picture. He now understands why his dad wanted him to come here. He was very sad. Dylan tells him, "Why are you losing this beautiful chance of your life? Here, everyone wants to go to Omega after completing 20 years of mining. And there are very few people. That's why your dad gave up his life." Here he finds out that his dad deliberately took his life so that Caleb could be sent to Omega. He could live a good life, which everyone except Caleb knew. Dylan says that you shouldn't refuse to take your dad's gift. He has given you this gift by giving his life. Then a friend gets sick during their conversation. They all now try to take him and reach their rover. But then the meteor storm started. Everyone was trying to save themselves. Edison also saves himself and gets separated from him. When no one sees him, Caleb and Dylan go to save him. Edison's helmet had a crack, so she fell unconscious. Caleb and Dylan save Edison and bring him back, but in the meantime, Dylan also falls, but Caleb saved him. Everyone comes inside the rover, whose windows were also broken, so he could not stay alive. Everyone sits in the same rover and waits for their death. Everyone understood that now they would not be able to survive. But they were happy that everyone would die together. After this incident, the story is shown a little later. We are shown Caleb, who has reached Omega, which means that the incident was 75 years ago. Caleb was in cryosleep, which does not increase a person's lifespan. When he reaches Omega, he will be about the same age. He wanted to know about his friends. Then a nurse comes and gives him an audio device on which the messages of his friends are recorded. He finds out that all of them were saved that day. His friends have spent more than half their lives in, like when a friend started his baseball team, and the other friend became an administrator, so according to the rest of the promises. Edison had married Dylan. Knowing about the lives of his friends, Caleb is very happy to hear the voice of his growing age. But even now, he was sad that he could not spend his life with his friends. A family had adopted Caleb on the Omega planet. He gets lost in this environment. He also finds Edison's brother here, who lives with his mother on Omega. Caleb tells Edison's brother about his sister's good deeds, like mining on the moon, which got them killed. And with this, the story of this film ends. Thank you.